Good day and welcome to Homer Watson's Arts and Crafts segment. My name is Scott McNichol and I want to give you a chance to see today how you can make a person in aluminum foil, something I've been doing for many years. In fact, actually, I do it for galleries and most of my gallery work, this is one of the pieces right here, Little Dancer. I've been doing that for about 32 years and it's been an exciting adventure in this medium, this material. So for boys and girls and anybody who's interested in working with this, it's quite simple actually, but I want to get into showing you the basics, okay? First, of course, you need some aluminum foil, and there are many aluminum foils on the market. Any aluminum foil pretty much will do, and you need a roll. Once you get that, you get a pieces of aluminum foil you can rip off in many different sizes. You can work from large to small. I usually work in around the size of about my arm, from about here down to my elbow. But even for younger people that's not so long, it still doesn't matter. All sizes work. The thing to start with is to realize we need a pattern, something that works very simple in creating the shape of the human. In this particular part here, I want to show you that if I were to make a cut about 1/3 of the way of this material, so right up to, almost to the middle, but not to the middle, and then we have two on this type right here and here. Now, turning it this way, if you can see that, we will have a line right to the bottom here, not quite at the middle, and then we have these two right here. Now, this gives us two legs, two arms, a head, and the reason we don't go to the middle area is that's where the body will be. Now, many times, many students ask me, do we need scissors? You can use scissors if you like. They do help in some ways to make a very sharp and clean way of going at this, but often I will use my hands because I'm working very quickly as an artist, and just simply tear up. Now that was started by the scissors, but I'll show you with this one here. If you take your finger, you make a cut like that, and then you use your finger as a guide while pulling on the other one, it can easily bring it down to the bottom of that line. Same on this side here, starting that one coming down here. Now the thing to remember when making this pattern is that we have to make sure that we have two roughly equal pieces. Now they can be a little bit short on one side or the other. You get two pieces on this side, get the head, and there's the body. The next part, very simple, is to do some crinkling. So if I take, and I always start with the legs, but by crinkling, one of the things that's very important is we just don't mash them together. As many students want to just go like that, and it becomes just a big blob. You try to hold it a little bit so that you create the length of the actual leg, and crush it gently first of all into that. My hands as a sculptor work around the shape, they don't just flatten it and go. So what you want to do is you want to roll it a little bit as you do it. All times, any student who's ever worked with this takes a little bit of practice to make it work, but at the same time, it is actually some material that you can find easily and work over and over again for that practice. You can find it at any home, so that's one of the beauties of this project. Once again, I'm doing the other leg here, and you can see now how we have a chicken. Well, I joke in that sense, but we still need to make these two wings into arms. But we do have the two legs now. Got to be always careful because it can rip easily. But I can show you easily how to fix that as well. We take this, we go out for the arms right now, and we crinkle those gently into this shape. We do also this side into this one, and now we have something that looks very close to more like a human. We observe here we've got two legs, two arms, a head, and the body area. Once again, no matter what size you work with, if we take it, we have to have one tear at the bottom coming up to almost the top in the middle there, and we have to also take two on this side right here. So this pattern is very straightforward, and I'm going to rip it just gently to show you once again where we started from so that you can see where we are going. And this one, and this one now create the human pattern. One tear at the bottom, two tears at the top, two legs, two arms, a head, and we need space for the body. In this very miniature version, you can see how I started the legs very carefully, and you can go into the arms next. But the little things like this are delicate. You can take your fingers and work very carefully. But this pattern leads to that start, leads to this, and now the hard part, it seems, for many students is simply put the arms out into a T, put the legs down together, and put your hands in between here and here, and pull it together very gently so that you bring the body together. Now try very hard not to actually crush everything to pieces and bring it too tight. Now once you get the body and the whole area here, I'm going to rotate it so you can see that, we get the split right here, and it doesn't have a head yet, so it's not going to feel any pain. But the thing is, we open up the legs a bit here to make sure that we have the length of the legs, we have the arms, and now we have the body. Often I will take this and I will just give it a half twist. The half twist actually locks the waist into place so that it doesn't fall apart later. But we now have the two legs, we have the two arms, we put the body together, we gave it one half twist to lock it into place. Now we're almost finished. The next part, which is seemingly simple, is I take my hand and I take this very gently. There are many ways of doing it, but this one's my favorite, is to actually crush it down into a very gentle ball. Now, I don't want to crush it too quickly. I don't want to go really over. I just want to gently go around. And as you notice, I'm using my fingers as a way of making the neck. Now that I have that, I have a person. I can bring them back down here. You got long arms, you got short arms. You can actually use your scissors to trim them a little shorter if you wish. You could actually, and this is all recyclable, so put it in a recycling bin if you're done with it, because it's not something we want to waste. Now, here's our general person, our simple figure, our simple human. And what we want to do next, and I want to show you really quickly, are some finishing steps. But this gives us a really interesting little person that way. 1, 2, 3 equal lengths gives us a decent size for the body. If I take both feet, legs, put them together, and bend them up like this, I can actually take it out and get little feet. If I press it down carefully enough, not always, but many times, it can actually stand. If you get that. Now sometimes if it wants to fall over, we need a little bit more flatness to it. The arms can be bent to the different directions you want them. You can twist and turn, and not everybody has to stand either. You could actually have them sitting. You could have them walking, but how are you going to keep it up? Well, I'll give you that advice in a minute. Now there's a couple other really simple things. At the ends of the arms, I like to flatten like this and roll it very gently at the wrist. That gives us a flat hand-like look, which can actually grip things later. Because if I took a piece of aluminum foil and I roll it like this, I could actually get a stick, a baseball bat, a hockey stick, and I could actually hold it in place by using that. Again, this hand isn't made, so flatten it out and then roll it thin at the wrist. We're making it tighter right there, and we get that hand effect. So we got feet, we got hands, and we have the person almost completely there. Now often I get asked, well, how about hair? We can make hair easy enough. If you take a piece of foil, a little bit longer and wider than the head, if you put it around here and come all the way over around to the back and crinkle that in gently, all of this extra can be brought over and laid down. If it is a girl, you can do it that way. Boy, well, same idea. You can put it into that fashion. You make it a little heavier. You could actually make it into, for fun, a little mohawk or ponytail, whichever you wish. I'm going to, for the moment, make it a ponytail. We'll take this out of the hand for a second. And for the ladies, that kind of stuff, we can actually take a piece like this, take it like that for a dress. If you wrap it around so that it goes all the way around, so as you can see, wrapping around the waist all the way around here. If you come underneath here, now these will not stay unless you fold them over and over. And as you fold that there, you will get that, and then just tighten it around the waist like this. And now we have ourselves the dress in that sense. Now, for the boys, there's a lot of different things. For the girls, there's a lot of different things as well, and it's all about your creativity. One last detail, though, is sometimes we want to be able to make it stand, and we don't have other materials. So to take aluminum foil, if we wrap it around 1 foot, a piece big enough, go around the ankle, around this, around here, we can actually get it tight enough around the ankle and wide enough that it will stand, but it could also be something that if you want it running, you have a base now, like many of the toys and stuff. So this little person is finished that way, and it will hold itself, and you can have a lot of fun with the various details and stuff. I wouldn't paint them right away. I can talk about that in a future idea. I'll also show you one last detail about putting these sculptures into finish. Now, if moms, dads, somebody around has a piece of cardboard and a hot glue gun, the dangers though, and I always recommend hot glue gun with moms and dads only. And one of the things about it is the heat goes right through metal. So if I'm going to put this onto something, you would never want to squirt it down and press your finger on top, because it will come right through and burn your finger. So you don't want to do that. So if you are going to glue it on, okay, you're going to take the hot glue, put some on the bottom very carefully, and take a tool such as this and touch it like that so that your fingers are not anywhere near it. Now that you have it on the base, you can actually then have it working like that. There are many different ways in which to fix these sculptures if a problem happens. One of the things about that is if I were to create a little human like this one here, once again, I'm going through this so you can see a second time, both legs here, crinkle gently, arms, crinkle gently. We get into the body, pull it together. Now, there's the little head right there. Now, some boys and girls, when they do something like this, may end up with it splitting apart. And they're like, oh no, I can't. Well, you could start again, but if you take this piece and you put them together and you twist it gently, like this, you can bring it back together again and fix that problem. And if you shape it and form it a little better, you'll have a strong piece altogether. We have two different people right here, very simple. And this one here, I'm not too sure where I'm going to do with her yet, but she will be certainly another sculpture that I could work through and maybe even put into a gallery situation. So, in our final sort of moment here, I want to just say that once you put all these things together, you will end up with a little person here. And remember, the pattern is very simple. You want to make sure that you have about 1/3 in the middle here, and 1/3 is like not quite half. You want two pieces right here and here. You may use scissors in cutting them. You may use your fingers in ripping it. But once you get to that point, it's straightforward, crinkles gently, and you will end up with a little person like this.